Hey guys, meet our new magic pet, Indra.
Hi!
I'm sure you'll make her feel right at home. See you later.
What powers do you have, Indra? Wow, your power is so cool.
You're so fucking impossible.
Look, big baby.
My peoples, what's the deal, fellas? So, check it, man. Because of the daylight savings and the changing in hours, it's tough for some of you guys to catch boxing for breakfast because it starts an hour earlier. Keep in mind that for me, the time is the same. The time has not changed. So it's not it's not that I'm doing the show earlier. It's that you guys are now getting up later. Underrated Will, what's the deal, my brother? So, um, I'm gonna try to get on here a little bit longer in the mornings and try to give my peoples the opportunity to catch the show, to catch some of the show and jump in the conversations. Connor Ben, and I know some of you guys who will be able to tune in now. Sai, what's the deal, my brother? I'm back already, my guy. So here's the deal. Like I was just saying, the time for me doesn't change. There's no time change in Dominican Republic for daylight savings. So, I wanted to come back on. Some of those people who are not able to make it to the show have the opportunity to chime in on what we got to see on Saturday. Have the opportunity to make those predictions too for next week. Sai, where you been, JSmiff? It's been too long. One time in DR. Right now it's 8:45 in the morning, my brother. Yes, sir. So no daylight savings over here. That's why it seems like I'm doing the show earlier. I'm not. But my peoples, you already see that the narrative around this fight is about Chris Eubank Jr. and how he's weight drained, how he's not the same. Listen, I'm here to tell you the better fighter won. That needs to be the narrative. Young Guns, the GOAT, JSmiff, what's up? Appreciate you, my brother. letting everybody know it might appear like I'm doing the show earlier, but I'm not. I'm doing it at the same time. What happens is that here in Dominican Republic, we don't have daylight savings. The time doesn't change. So I'm not doing it earlier. You guys are just waking up later now because of the time change. But Young Guns, this was the topic of conversation right here. Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. You know, I know that a lot of people are saying that Eubank Jr. is not the same, that he's weight drained and all of that stuff. But I'm gonna tell you, my respect to Conor Benn. I'd rather give him the flowers because this guy lost just months ago. Just months ago, he took a beating, ate a lot of shots, and it takes a different type of fighter, bro, to take that rematch. Conor Benn is different. For him to lose the way that he did and say, I want to rematch this guy, Conor Benn is a different animal. So instead of trying to diminish Chris Eubank Jr., I'd rather give him credit. Give Conor Benn credit for doing what he did. Age of 17. Wait. So what time is it then? Since y'all still Easter with no daylight savings. No. Right now, I think we're 1 hour before Eastern time. So here it's 8:47 a.m. Young Gus, I'm 0-3 against you in the picks. It goes down that way. If you want to go 0-4, go against Devin Haney. Go against Devin Haney, my guy. And you're going to be 0-4. By the way, my peoples, I already made that prediction. It took me a long time. I wasn't ducking it. I told you guys I was going to make it. I analyzed a lot of data, a lot of information. And I've come to the conclusion that Devin Haney is going to beat Brian Norman Jr. in a very competitive fight. Age of 17, you finally picked Haney versus Norman. I did, bro. I told people, I was telling early in the morning during today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast, I was telling people that Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney has been the toughest prediction that I've made since I started Boxing for Breakfast. It's been, you guys see it. Been a very, very tough prediction to make because for obvious reasons. Obviously, we know Brian Norman Jr. is the power puncher, world champion, elite level young fighter, and then Devin Haney, the accomplished guy coming up who people are discrediting because what happened with Ryan Garcia. They're saying that he's scared because of, the last fight. He didn't do what they thought he could have done. Well, that's it. No more talking, no more prediction. This fight is going down on Saturday, my peoples. Age of 17, I've been had Haney. I barely know Norman. I've heard his name, but I ain't seen him fight. Young Guns, I'm picking Devin, Benavides, Abdullah. Ooh. Yep. All three of those are winning. My suggestion, if you're going to place your bets, that's a 3-pick right there. Boop, boop, boop. Get your money. I'm going to say this, man. People think when you choose one fighter that you're automatically going to be against the other fighter. And in this case, I can tell you, number one, I don't make a pick based on who I like better or who I like as a fighter or as a person or whatever. I make a pick based off of who I think is going to win, based off of their skill set, and a few other factors. After analyzing all the data, I decided that Devin Haney is the guy who's going to win this fight. That's how I see it. But I don't diminish or discredit Brian Norman Jr. in any way, shape, or form. That's what made it such a tough prediction to make. What he brings to the table. In fact, When they first announced the fight, I said Brian Norman Jr. was gonna knock Devin Haney out. That was my first reaction. Cause I was like, yo, he got power. He can fight. He can do, a lot of things that's gonna present problems for Devin. So predicting that Devin Haney is gonna win this fight was no easy feat. It wasn't easy, my people. But like I said, after analyzing all the data and looking at all the facts and that's what I came up with. Young Guns, I seen you on Rice Podcast the other day, JSmiff. They not big on Devin. I know. And it's all good, my brother. It's all good. You see, look, wherever I go, I'm going to say what I have to say. So they wasn't agreeing with me. Senior Cobbs wasn't agreeing with me. Lori Reed wasn't agreeing with me. But they my peoples. And it's all for the love of sweet science. Salute to everyone in the Rice Podcast. Age is 17. Wait. You can't online gamble in Florida? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that, to be honest. I will say, do not gamble illegally, okay? I do not advise you to gamble illegally or to gamble if you're not of age, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that, my peoples. This fight, man, I'm really, really excited about it. And you guys saw when it comes to Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., how the build-up for that fight, how big it was. And then Saturday, look at the arena. That thing was packed, and the energy, the electricity was in the air. 50 Cent walked with Chris Eubank Jr., made the ring walk. Epic, epic. Everything about Saturday was epic. We got to witness something special. Age is 17. Florida kind of weird on gambling laws. I'm not allowed any sport betting besides Hard Rock, and that's 21 plus. Well, wait till you're there. Wait till you're there. All I'll say to everyone, gamble legally. Young Guns, UK showed out. I'm going to tell you what, Young Guns. I always give credit, give props to UK fans because they consistent with it, bro. UK fans always show out. Another thing that I love about UK fans is that when their guys lose, they keep supporting them. They keep pushing them. They don't disrespect them. They don't diminish them. And I love that about UK fans. You see that UK fighters can have 2, 3 losses. And UK fans still be showing out in the arena, selling out arenas and everything. You take a look at Devin Haney. Didn't even take a loss. Had a bad fight. And that's it, man. People turn against him right away. It's like if you're an American fighter and you take a L, that's it. Everybody's turning on you quick. But when you're in the UK, man, they support different. That's just real. Age is 17. That casinos are only allowed to have tables, no slots. Wait till you get to the right age and you're going to be able to enjoy all of it. But you got to wait. Side, we support regardless of race, color, or creed. That's the thing, man. And I love to see it. When people just support the sweet science, support the boxers, support accomplishments. And put less energy on hating. Less energy on diminishing. You'll notice there's people who go in the comment section and they'll spend 30 minutes watching the show. And the whole 30 minutes that they watch the show, they only spent it talking about how Chris Eubank Jr. was dehydrated and how he's not the same. And how all they did was spend it diminishing a champion, and didn't even take a single second to say, wow, you know, that was impressive for Conor Benn to move up 2 divisions and win the way that he did. Wow, that's impressive. Can't even give credit to the guy for what he just did. When you have to understand that most fighters will never jump up 2 divisions in one shot, boom, and beat a world caliber fighter. You won't see that from most fighters. Conor Benn accomplished what most fighters won't even attempt. Remember that. Remember that I told you this. This win over Chris Eubank Jr. is a career-defining win for Conor Benn. Side, that's why we love Terrence Crawford over here, age of 17. But I agree with Side. We support no matter what. Side, Ben Whitaker needs to step up. He got talent, though. Listen, I personally have expectations for Ben Whitaker. I really do, because he has a talent. He has a size to do a lot of big things, to accomplish a lot. But this guy right here, we got to give him his flowers, my people. We got to give him his credit. Instead of just trying to focus on Chris Eubank to say that he wasn't the same, to say that he was weight drained and all of that stuff, I would have believed that narrative if people were saying it before the fight. But before the fight, the main narrative is that Conor Benn was going to get knocked out, that Conor Benn was too small, that Conor Benn was going to get done up worse than the last time. Y'all remember that? That was the main narrative. Now Conor Benn pulls up the upset. Chris Eubank Jr. wasn't the same. Young Guns, Kell Brook was never the same. He jumped up 2 weight classes for Triple G and got his face broken. After that, he goes down to 147 and get face broken by Spence. Brutal. I mean, it's like I said it. If we go by that logic, we would be discrediting every great fighter. We would be discrediting most of their wins, Young Guns. Every great fighter. We could go to Floyd Mayweather. And all the guys that he fought had taken losses, the majority of them. We could say, well, Zab Judah wasn't the same after he lost the way he did to Costa Azul. So take that win from Floyd. And no, Oscar De La Hoya, he wasn't the same after taking a couple of L's. After losing to Mosley, after losing to Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya wasn't the same. So you could take that win from Floyd. You know, like, we could literally go to every great fighter and find things about their opponent as to why they're not the same according to us. So at the end of the day, the reality is that we could just say, who won? The better fighter. The better fighter won the fight. That's it. That's it. The better fighter. Like, because BoxRec doesn't record none of that stuff. BoxRec doesn't record opinions. It just records wins and losses. That's it. Titles won. Accomplishments. Conor Benn showed out, my people. We got to give him his credit. Got to give it to him. Brad Lange, I was really wrong about this fight. However, it seems weird that Conor won every round. Brad Lange is like I told you, man, if you're wrong, you're going to want to find a conspiracy. You're going to want to find an explanation. You're going to want to find something around it. And at the end of the day, I saw a Conor Benn that brought in a different game plan and did what he had to do. And by the way, he did not win every round. There was a referee that gave Chris Eubank Jr. like 4 rounds. There was another referee that gave him like 2. Like, every referee gave rounds to Chris Eubank Jr. He didn't win every round. Mr. Tommy Gunn, 1978. Billy Joe sausages was 100% on Eubank never becoming a world champion. He always said it. And look at that. Look how things have played out. Young Guns, JSmiff, do you like Conor Benn wanting to go to 147, or will you like him at 154? Well, honestly, if he can make 147 comfortably, that's where I'd like to see him. Why? Because if he goes there, it's kind of unfinished business. This is where you left from. If you can make that weight, you know, Ryan Garcia's right there. You remember they had a little back and forth. Rollies is right there. There's some fighters in the welterweight division that they're going to make it very interesting fights. And you guys know, man, Conor Benn, his stock has skyrocketed. After this fight, after this win, Conor Benn's stock has skyrocketed, my people. So it's all about what he decides to do next. He's going to have options. He's going to have some options. So we're going to see what direction he goes in. Because at the welterweight division, we have some young, hungry lions that are going to be waiting for him, that will accept the challenge. So, and you know what? I'm going to be honest with y'all. I would like to see Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia. I would really like to see Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia. Sai, I think I gave Eubank 10-10 round. Apart from the every round was for Ben. Brad Lange, oh really? I must have seen an unofficial scorecard. I thought it was weird. Nah, he didn't win every round. He won almost every round, but not every round. Brad Lange, I love to see Ben go to welterweight. That will shake up the division. That'll get me excited, man. Listen, Conor Benn, I think, will be a great fit at 147. Simply because the guys that are over there. A lot of interesting matchups for him. Lots of interesting matchups, which I am looking forward to. But my peoples, I gotta say, we got an epic performance from Conor Benn. Yet, the narrative is gonna continue to be, you'll see it, about Chris Eubank Jr. and how he was weight drained, wasn't the same and all of that stuff. Man, listen, at the end of the day, Conor Benn earned himself a career-defining win. Career-defining, my people. Now, what makes it? What makes it a career-defining win? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what makes it a career-defining win. The fact that Conor Benn was expected to lose. I'm right here. Conor Benn was expected to get knocked out. You guys have to remember all of the predictions, right? The expectations were by a lot of people that Conor Benn was going to sleep. And look at the way that the fight played out, ladies and gentlemen. Not exactly as people envisioned it. Not exactly as people envisioned it, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, good morning to everybody. Today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast may have seemed like it was earlier than the usual, but it's not. I remind you guys that there's no daylight savings here in Dominican Republic. The time doesn't change. That's why it may seem like I'm doing the show earlier. I'm not. I'm doing it at the same time. Agent 17, JSmiff. I know it's a title off topic, a little off topic, but which fighter should I make an edit of? I just did Itama, so anyone but him. Make an edit of somebody that's in an upcoming fight. Go with Devin or Brian Norman Jr. And my peoples, I gotta tell you, JJ's in there has JSmiff. Are you still shadow banned? Yes, sir. I'm gonna be shadow banned until mid-December, bro. Yes, sir. Brad Lange. Young Guns. I will watch Canelo versus Eubank. I do have Canelo winning that fairly easy. I mean, they would both be coming off of a loss. That fight could get made. Side. A B. Norman Jr. edit will go hard. Come on now. Some explosive knockouts will definitely be there. Agent 17, Turkey was hinting at Eubank or Ben possibly fighting Canelo, depending on who won. Yeah, but you know what? Turkey hinted at Hamza Shiraz also getting a shot at Canelo. So, let's just see. Let's just see what they decide. JJ's in the house. JSmiff, thanks for coming on later. Because I wake up at 5 a.m. to get ready to work. So, I actually ended Boxing for Breakfast. And then I was like, you know what? I need to find a way to come on for a little bit longer so that you guys can rock with me too. You guys have the opportunity to make your predictions. Get your little trash talking in the morning and all that good stuff. By the way, my peoples, good morning to everybody tuning in. Y'all know what this is. Another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. And by the way, y'all, subscribe to Box Center 2.0. You know, we're at 48 subscribers, waiting to get to 50 so we can kick off a brand new show. Let's get it, my peoples. But this is what we got going on right here. This is what we got going on right here, my peoples. Agent 17, don't ever end boxing for breakfast, JSmiff. This is my daily boxing show I need. Oh, nah, bro. Trust me. Boxing for breakfast is here to stay. You know, boxing fans have embraced it. Fighters, coaches, trainers have embraced it. We're here to stay, my G. We're here to stay. Either I'm going to be doing boxing for breakfast or some network is going to pick it up and we're going to do it in some network. But this show ain't going anywhere, my G. Side, how do you think Shiraz does against Nello? I think Hamza Shiraz can present problems. Some serious problems to Canelo Alvarez. And I say that because he's going to have what I've told people before that give Canelo problems. Height and reach advantages. He don't have the footwork like some other fighters. As I said it before, to beat Canelo, it helps out if you have height, reach advantages, and footwork. And Hamza Shiraz has the height, has the reach, doesn't really have the footwork, but Canelo's not as mobile as he used to be. So I think Shiraz can give him problems. Serious ones. Agent 17, I think Shiraz will give Canelo a bit of a run for his money because Hamza is the bigger guy and he finished Berlanga. Well, I will point out, when it comes to Berlanga, I wouldn't judge for that because Edgar Berlanga fought Canelo in a way that he was trying to survive. So He wasn't there to be knocked out. Hamza Shiraz, on the other hand, he stood right in front of him and traded leather. He actually felt confident and thought he could win that fight and got knocked out. Young Guns, Agent 17, Canelo might finally end up on his back pockets in that fight. I'm telling you, man, Shiraz, pretty big guy. With that height and reach and that power, it could be problematic for Canelo. Could be problematic. That's a fight that, let's see if he takes it. Let's see if he even takes a fight like that, because I don't know what kind of fight Canelo's going to want to take coming off of this loss. Like, okay, you lost your undisputed crown to Terrence Crawford. What are you going to do next? Do you fight the rematch and lose the same way? Or does watching Conor Benn motivate Canelo? Like, look, Conor Benn came back and won. Can I do the same thing? Maybe. Maybe Canelo Alvarez gets motivated by watching Conor Benn fight back and avenge that loss. Jay is in there has JSmiff. I think YouTube is cracking down on everyone because I watch other guys on football and in financial advice, and they're getting shadow banned too, and they haven't found out why. So I'm gonna tell you why. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they're getting a lot more stricter. I'm gonna give you an example. I used to broadcast fights on Instagram. My live feature got taken down, and I got a message from Instagram that I broadcasted something that I wasn't supposed to. So I can't go live on Instagram right now. I don't even know for how long. Facebook, I was broadcasting the card on Saturday, and the live got taken down. Boom. And I got a message from Facebook. I can't go live. I can't post. I can't comment for 3 days only. But I can't do anything on Facebook right now. So all these apps, they're cracking down hard on people for a lot of little things. And they shadow banning people left and right. I'm shadow banned on Instagram too. How do I know I'm shadow banned? Because I was posting, for example, and getting 70 likes, 80 likes, thousands of people watching it. And then all of a sudden I posted 2 likes, 3 likes, 100 views. So you could see that when you're shadow banned, they remove you from the algorithm. So most people don't see you. Your content doesn't come across most people's screens. They going hard at people, bro. So people say, I don't know why they shadow ban me. Nah, you do know. Or maybe they don't know, but it's something that they're posting that makes it happen. These apps, they don't shadow ban you for nothing. So let me give you an example. If you're a football channel and you posted something from the NFL had that shit taken down, and now your ass is shadow banned. So you could say, oh, I don't know why I'm shadow banned. Yeah, you do know. The NFL mad at you. They not playing. So it's always going to be connected to something that we post. Because remember, I posted myself calling the fight between Bud and Canelo. But I didn't do it live. I did it the day after, a few days later. Yo, they cracked on me like I was streaming the live feed, which I know you're not supposed to, but I wasn't. My peoples, I gotta tell you, man, I'm super excited about this fight. I think that Brian Norman Jr., is gonna be Devin Haney's toughest challenge. He may face adversity on this one. I think he's gonna pull through. Let's see it. Everybody made their predictions. Everybody said what they got. I told you guys what I got. That's my prediction right there. Devin Haney is going to beat Brian Norman Jr. by unanimous decision, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that JSmiff told you that. And once again, you shall call me J Stradamus on Sunday when we meet up to talk about the fight. My peoples, don't forget to subscribe to Box Center 2.0. We're going to have this new fire content, exclusive videos being posted on there as we speak. Bunch of videos that only go on Box Center 2.0. But we're at 42 subscribers, waiting to get to 50. The moment we get to 50, I can go live from that channel. I'll be announcing the name of the new show. And trust me, it's going to be crazy. There's going to be a hotline. You guys, instead of just putting your comment up, you're going to be able to call. You're going to be on speaker. We're going to be trash talking. We're going to be making predictions. We're going to be arguing. We're going to be cursing each other out, to be honest. We're going to go at it. Trash talking at the elitist of the elite level. So subscribe to Box Center 2.0, my peoples. Let's get to 50 subscribers so we can get it popping. My peoples, salute to everybody who tuned in this morning for this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I appreciate every single one of you guys. JJ Sendejas was in the building. Young Guns, you've been in the building for a hot minute. Agent 17, side. And everybody else who tuned in, man, I had to come back and give you a little bit more. Brad Lange was in the building. You know, make sure everybody get a healthy dosage of sweet science this Monday morning. My peoples, one love to everybody, y'all. I'm out of here. Bam. Peace.